Hi everybody, I wanted to go over some safety tips of the harness that you guys just purchased. First, we're going to talk about the safety tips, and then we're going to go into the training portion of it and how you can utilize some tools to be able to help your birds better accustomed to the harness. Now again, the training videos that I'm going to show you, these are tips and tricks for your bird and you to do together, so that way you can help your birds use this harness. Now, first safety tip, you're going to see that you have a C-link on the bottom of your harness. This little guy is going to strap onto a belt loop. It can strap onto a fanny pack zipper, or it can strap onto a tie loop on your pants. So if you have a tie string here, you can close this. So you'll take this and you'll close it, and then you'll take the strings, loop it through, and then tie it into your strings. This piece has to go somewhere on the waistline. It has to be in low proximity, so that way you have the length just in case your bird does decide to take off on your shoulder with this. It gives the length to the bird to either have time to hover so you can capture them, or it's going to give them time where you can bring them down to the ground with this. Okay, this is a no-fly harness. Okay, we call this Fids No Fly. So keep that in your mind, Fids No Fly. This is a harness where you do not teach your bird how to fly on it. You do not ask for recalls from it. This is literally a stick to you, stay on your shoulder harness. So they understand that they are not able to fly on this. Accidents do happen. They do get scared. The fight or flight mechanisms kick in their brain if they get scared, and they will take off. However, make sure you're watching your bird's body language. If they tend to start getting scared and they're going to start to take off, recognize those behaviors and keep them secure with you. All right, so again, this goes down by your loop here. Another safety feature you're going to see is the toggle. So this little toggle right here is to help keep it small around your parrot's neck. That way they can't lift it up and put it over their neck by themselves. And our birds have done this a couple times where we've left it too loose and they're literally able to wiggle out of it. So make sure when you're putting this around your bird's neck, it is up and tight. Make sure you're not getting any feathers in this, okay? You're not choking your bird, but you're keeping it at a tight length where it's not going to slip off their neck, okay? All right, so that's pretty much all the features. You do have an extra toggle just in case you don't supervise your bird and they eat this. So remember, this is not a toy. Do not allow your parrots to eat this harness. This is not a toy. They are not here to play with this, okay? Make sure that you don't let them eat this toggle. This is a very important piece of your harness. So this is a few safety tips, again, on the harness itself. So you have your C-clip that goes on your belt. Again, depending on the height of the human, if you're a little bit taller, this is going to be a little bit shorter based on the ground, but it is to stay that length. We don't want to make it any longer, so that way the birds don't take off and be jolted back from it. So again, make sure you are being aware of your bird's body language, okay, when you're going outside. Another thing, this harness is not to be used on a bicycle or a motor vehicle or hanging outside of a window. This harness is only to be used when walking around with your bird. Walking, not running, walking. So make sure that you are only using this when you are walking with your bird, no biking, no motorized vehicles. It is literally only for walking. I think that's pretty much it on the safety harnesses. Let's jump into the training portion of it real quick so you guys can see ways to train this with your bird and work on this harness if they are afraid of it. All right? Okay, so training your bird with the harness. First off, your birds have to be familiar with the clicker game and also the touch training game. So they have to be familiar with the touch training clicker game, so that way they can understand that this is going to coincide with this, all right? If you don't have one of these, you can head over to our website under training tools. The link is under there next to the picture, and you can purchase one of these. So what you're going to do is play the touch game. Play the touch game with your bird. Have them touch the end of the harness, click and reward, and continuously do that. Move your bird around. Have them go to the end of the perch, touch the end of the harness, click and reward. Once they start touching this and they feel confident that it's not going to hurt them, then from there you're going to start the training of putting their head through the loop. And how you're going to do that, you're going to have your handy dandy perch. You're going to have your harness attached to your belt loop, right? Just as you were to do it if you were to take them outside. So put it right on your belt loop. Get it nice and tight there. And then now, there's a few ways you can train this. You can take the toggle off if they're afraid of this part. You can completely remove this, or you can leave it on and just make the head hole bigger. Now from here, you're going to take your target stick in your left hand and hold the harness in your right hand. Obviously, if you're left-handed, you're going to do the opposite, okay? So then what you're going to do is pull your target stick out long like that, and then you're going to put the long stick through the head. Let's say your bird's on the end of this perch. You're going to ask them to walk over, touch the stick, click, and reward. From there, you're going to start moving it back, back, and back, all the way from the target stick, excuse me, to be from the very far end of the loop, pushing their head through the head hole. And you're going to do this for a while until they feel confident touching it when they're coming through, touching the stick, click, reward, set it down. Now I'm going to go into some training videos with Charlie, and you guys can see how we do this, and then we'll kind of discuss a little bit more from there. If you have any questions in regards to that, please let us know. We are here to help you. Another way too, you guys can definitely put this on the outside of their cage while they get used to it. So if they're super, super afraid of it, let's say you bring it out and they're just taken off, put it on the outside of their cage where they frequent often. That way they can see it hang there 24/7 and see that it's not a threat to them. If they were to go over and touch it and you notice it from afar, click and reward them while they're doing it. Same thing if you would do to desensitizing them to the clicker stick. Now keep in mind, your birds have to know the target game to be able to do the training. Okay, they have to know the target game to be able to do the training. So make sure if they don't, you start with this first. We do have a target training video on our YouTube at Fids of Freedom. So definitely check out the target training video, Fids of Freedom, on our YouTube channel, and that will help you get them used to this. All right. All right, guys. Well, without further ado, let's go to the training videos. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to us. Thanks, guys. Good job. All right. All right, so what we talked about was clamping the harness. So again, you can either clamp it on the hook of your fanny pack or underneath your little belt loop here as well, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that before I start the training with Charlie. Then we're gonna start the touch training. So just having her touch it, clicking, and rewarding. So I got that secure. So we're gonna have her touch it, click, and reward. Right, Charlie. Yeah. You touch? Good job. So this is a really good way to get your parrots used to the harness so they're not afraid of it. Now again, if they are afraid of it from the start, hang it on the outside of their cage just so they start to get used to it. You touch. Good job. All right. So she's feeling pretty good about the touch training there. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to set up the harness here. Now remember, holding it in your right hand. Let's see if you guys can see this here. Holding it in your right hand, taking the target stick and pushing it through. Good job. Now first you want to push it through the head hole just enough for her to touch the target stick. Then from there, you're going to slowly start backing it up for them to go put their head through it to touch the stick. Good job. Now remember, when training this, make sure you're using rewards that they want to work for. So whether it's their favorite pine nut or whether it's their favorite walnut, make sure these treats are small so you get more repetitions out of your bird. Now I have it further back. Good girl. That way she has to put her head through the harness. He's a good girl. Hi. All right, doing it again, bringing it further back. Good job. All right, this time around, I'm going to have it a little bit more. So that way she gets her head through the harness hole. Now, Charlie's been doing this for a little bit. We've been practicing this a lot for Charlie. Come on. Good girl. There she took that step. to pull her head through the harness to touch the end of the target stick. Now keep in mind, you guys, your birds have to know the target game to be able to start this training. So if you have not checked out our YouTube video of target training, please check it out. That's going to help you a lot to get your bird started on target training. All right, do the same thing and over and over. You got to go through the loop. Come on. Good job. Now, once they start getting more comfortable and start going all the way through the hoop or the loop, then from there you can start slightly letting them touch it with their face, like she did there. Try again. Good girl. Good girl. I'm going to try to move you guys a little bit closer here so you can see her facial expressions. Good job, Charlie Bird. All right, we'll do it again. There it is. Good job. Now I'm going to make the hole a little smaller for her. That way she has to kind of push through the harness to get to the target stick. That way she can feel the harness on her face. No, you can't go around, silly. Good. She's not quite sure. She doesn't like it up and around her. Almost. Good girl. There it was. Good job. All right, so once you start getting your bird more comfortable, more confident, then from there you can put down the target stick, take the harness loop, and act like you're going to go up and over their head, but you're not going to do it quite yet. You're just going to have them kind of touch it. Good job. And continue that motion like you're going to go up and over their head. Good job. So we're going to go up and over her head. Good job. We're going to go up and over her head. Good girl. Okay, so kind of play around with those motions a little bit. If you want, you can be silly, put it on your face. Hi, Charlie. Have a kiss. Mwah. Play around with it a little bit. She's a little concerned about it. You can do the touch game on their body. So you can touch their body. Good girl. Good girl. Touch their head. Oh, it's okay. What? Look. Here we go. Good job. Good job. Good job, Charlie. What? Huh? You touch it over here? Good girl. Good girl. All right, we're going to go back. Ready? Good job. Good girl. All right, have her put her head through it a little longer. What happened? Nothing happened. Come on. Touch the stick. Come on. I'm being a little patient with her here. Bring it a little closer for her. There it is. Good job. Now remember, you want her to win, right? You want her to take that win. If she's not quite comfortable going all the way through on one portion of the training, then just put it a little bit closer and start over and then bring it back further from there. Good job. All right, now we're gonna go really far back. Let's see if I can get her to come all the way through here. She's got to take that step. Hi, come on. So close. Gotta touch the stick. Good girl, Charlie. Good girl. All right, I'm gonna end on that note with this training right now and come back to it a little bit later. That was really good by her. I don't want to ruin the relationship with her, so we're just gonna stop it right there. Good job. And then we'll do round 2 either in a little bit or we can do round 2 tomorrow. But you never wanna over push it and you never want it to be something where they are afraid of it or it becomes a negative behavior. So you don't want to overdo it and you don't want to make it so they get frustrated and they don't see this as a fun game. Remember, the harness is something fun. This is something that they want to get used to be happy to go on and to be able to leave the house and then be confident that this is something good for them. So again, you always want to make this a positive tool. All right? I hope that helps, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. Bye, guys. Good job. Ready? Boop. Good girl. So again, once they start getting used to the harness, you can start playing little games like this with them if you want, just depending on how you want to train it. Another way you can do it is when they're putting their head through the loop, then from there you can slowly put it around their neck. So let's see if Hopi will let us do that. Ready? Hopi. Boop. Good job. You didn't do it. Ready? Off. Boop. Good job, Leah. Hopi. Boop. Good girl. Yay. Right. All right, so once they get familiar with it, then from there you can start playing the game. Boop. Good job. No? Okay, I'll take it off. Good girl.